Good evening, everyone. How's y'all's day going so far? Today I will be discussing the painting American Gothic by Grant Wood. This painting is from 1930 and is located at the Art Institute of Chicago. Today I will not only introduce you to this painting, but we will learn the many significance that not the everyday person knows. I will be discussing three main symbols that Grant Wood included in her artwork. These are the house, the window, and the people. So why did I choose this painting? Well, I took an art history class and studied this particular painting. Learned a lot of interesting symbols that not everyone really can see just by a glance of their eye. The painting is realistic. It captures great insight of the 1930s. So the house. According to the American Gothic House Center, the house that is used in Grant Wood's painting is a still-standing house in Eldon, Iowa. The American Gothic House Center notes that the original portion of the house that contains the two Gothic windows that was built in 1881 to 1882 was Catherine and Charles Dibble. Catherine and Charles Dibble are the original owners of the home. Dibble eventually lost his home due to overdue taxes and is now listed on the National Register of Historic Places. According to the Des Moines Register, the house is the first state-owned house that is now open to the public. Starting in April 2015, the public can now plan a free tour of the most famous house in America. Through the decades of this house providing a home, the rent averaged around $250 a month. There's another picture of the interior house. So now we're going to focus on the window. Now, taking a closer look at the house, you can see the Gothic window that is kind of the centerpiece of this painting. The American Gothic House Center included that the window is duplicated with two halves of the window repeated by the two human figures standing side by side. In other words, this means that Grant Wood visually joined the man and woman in the same way that the oddly shaped top pane of glass joins the two arches of the window. This picture is hard to catch with a glance, but shows a hidden use of symbolism in Wood's artwork. The American Gothic House Center also noted that the big window was set on hinges so it can open. You can see that in the picture right there. The residents used the hinges to open the window and move furniture either into or out of the second floor. Looking at the size of the window, you can realize that these particular pieces of furniture did not include the big dressers or beds. So who are the people? Lastly, I will discuss the male and female that serves as the main focus of the painting. As some of you may be surprised, the male and female have no relationship and are not married. According to the American Gothic meaning, the woman on the left is Grant Wood's sister. Looking at the painting for the first time, it is easy to believe that you're just looking at an illustration of a woman mad at her husband, but that's not the case. Now, can anyone guess who the man standing with the pitchfork is? Surprisingly, many would say he's a farmer, but in reality, he was the town's local dentist. Both of these models were recruited by Wood for the painting. Now that I have discussed some of the important details in the American Gothic painting, I would like to share another interesting fact. According to the 15 things you might not know about American Gothic, Wood painted the house, his sister, and his dentist in separate sessions. So, when discussing the American Gothic with your friends, teachers, or family, you now know some important uses of symbolism that Wood used in his artwork. I hope that you enjoyed discussing about one of the most iconic paintings in history. Now, do y'all have any questions?
Which symbolism was your favorite?
Well, I'd say my favorite one was the pitchfork or the hay fork that the dentist is holding. I didn't talk about that today, but basically it kind of shows that he's holding a pitchfork, but he's not a farmer. It kind of resembles the Midwestern era. So it kind of, I don't know, I thought it was kind of interesting to read about and learn about.